What's up, guys? It's Draco in here, back at it again with another predictions video. I didn't get the predictions video in last night because I was just super tired and I didn't feel like it, so we had to delay it to this afternoon, but hey, whatever. So, without further ado, let's get into the Week 14 NFL predictions. Only a few weeks left after this one's over. Next up, we have the Raiders taking on the Rams. I'm going to have the Raiders winning this game because the Raiders are on kind of a hot streak right now. They went 3 in a row the past 3 weeks, and Josh Jacobs looks like a dark horse MVP candidate, or I should say Offensive Player of the Year candidate. But yeah, the Raiders get this one over the Rams, and they'll end up in playoff contention at the end of this week, which is pretty hard to say after how their year started. Next up, we have the Vikings taking on the Lions. This one's easy. This will be a Minnesota win over the Lions. Look, there's nothing wrong with the Lions, but I don't see them beating the Vikings here, even though they are at home. Next up, we have the Eagles taking on the Giants. Our first upset alert of the week. The Giants pull away with this one. They're playing at home. Their team is pretty good. Philly struggled with stopping the run a few weeks ago against Washington, which was their only loss of the year. So I think that they lose again to the Giants here. Next up, we have the Jets taking on the Bills. This one will not end up the way it was earlier on in the season. The Bills will win this game because it's in Buffalo and Josh isn't hurt anymore. Next up, we have the Ravens taking on the Steelers. I'm going to have the Steelers winning this game. I think that the Steelers will beat the Ravens here, especially if Lamar doesn't play. And I predict that he won't play this week, so the Steelers pull away with the win with that defense. Next up, we have the Browns taking on the Bengals. This will be a Bengals victory, and the Bengals officially take the lead in the AFC North with this win here over the Browns because the Ravens, well, they lost to the Steelers, like I just mentioned. Next up, we have the Texans versus the Cowboys. Easily a Cowboys victory. The Texans, they probably won't win a game for the rest of the year, like I've already said it. And the Cowboys just dropped 54 points on the Colts. So, if they can drop that much on the Colts, they're going to be able to drop, they could drop like 70 freaking points on the Texans. Next up, we have the Jags versus the Titans. I'm going to have the Titans winning this game, even though they just fired their GM for some reason. Even after they had winning seasons every single year that he was their GM. But they'll still win here because they're playing the Jaguars at home. So it's not like there's much of a competition. Next up, we have the Panthers taking on the Seahawks. I'm going to take the Seahawks winning this game, but it won't be a blowout. It will be a relatively close game. I'm going to say like under one score. But the Seahawks do end up pulling away with the victory off of Kenneth Walker if he's available. And if not Kenneth Walker, then definitely that secondary. Honestly, Seattle's rookie class might be the best rookie class of the past, 5 years. They have, 4 or 5 potential All-Pros, potential future All-Pros on that team that came out of this draft. That is insane. Next up, we have the Buccaneers versus the 49ers. We are going to have another upset alert. It is the Buccaneers that I see pulling away with the win on this one. They will move up to 7-6. And really the only reason that I have them losing to the 49ers losing is because it's going to be Brock Purdy's first career start against Tom Brady. that usually doesn't go well with young quarterbacks. Next up, we have the Chiefs versus the Broncos. This will be an absolute blowout. The Chiefs win. Even though they're playing in Denver, that's just how bad the Broncos are. And with this loss, the Broncos are officially out of playoff contention, I believe. Next up, we have the Dolphins taking on the Chargers. This one will be a Dolphins win because they just have a much better team than the Chargers. And all the players that got hurt in the game last week should be good enough to play next week. And finally, we have the Patriots taking on the Cardinals on Monday Night Football. I'm going to have the Patriots winning this game because Matthew Judon is going to absolutely destroy that leaky Cardinals O-line. That's something that just came off the top of my head, but really, even if I didn't have any idea how the Patriots were going to win, I'd still know they were going to beat the Cardinals, because it shouldn't be that hard. Alright, so that's going to do it for this predictions video. This is sort of a shorter one, but just because there's so many bye teams this week, we have Atlanta, Washington, Green Bay, Indy, New Orleans, and, who is that, Chicago? Yeah, Chicago, with a bye this week. So, yep, that'll do it, and I will see you in the next video. Comment down below if you think anything else.